Hey guys, GamblingCS here with another knife review. I haven't done this one in a while, so I figured I'd put up a video of this instead of all the projects I've been working on. So what I have up here is the famous Kershaw Leek, the one that innovated the speed safe mechanism, and it's the CB blade. So let's take a look. Alrighty, so initial impressions, I'm sure everyone's seen a Leek. It's one of the, I think, one of the major staples of knives, right up there with the Buck 110, BM 710, the innovator of the Axis lock, Spyderco knives, the whole bit. Anyway, so onto this knife. So we've got about a 3-inch cutting edge on this nice Wharncliffe blade. You have a composite blade. It's kind of dirty right now. Let me turn that down a bit. So I gave it a polished edge because I didn't really care for the coating they put on the blade. I mean, it looks cool, but it makes it more prone to rust, I find, especially since I live on the coast, and there's even some rust on it right now. Man, I'll clean that off. Anyway, so I took some 1000 grit sandpaper and went at it, and you can see it's got a decent shine to it, almost like a stonewash finish. Yeah, so I mean, the blade's great. Actually, I didn't convex it. My friend JP, back to Texas, his channel is JP Guitar Guy Futrell. Can't speak. He convexed it for me, and I'm finally starting to learn how to convex. So I've been keeping this sucker up, and this D2 is a phenomenal steel. I really enjoy it. CBM D2 is just great. It eats cardboard like no other, especially with this toothy edge. It's great. I really enjoy it. Again, you have to worry about this pointed tip because it is a little thin, and because it is D2, it's a little more brittle than you would expect. So just be careful with that. No really hard objects when you're slashing with it, or if you're going to do a lot of hard work, do it down here near the base. General construction, we have 2 steel scales. It's not as slick as I thought it would be, but it gives enough grip, I think. I would prefer G10, and since I have some G10 I'm working with, I'm going to make a G10 scale on this side and then keep the steel frame lock on this side. That way I'll get a little bit more friction off this and be a bit harder use knife, in my opinion, or at least I can get a better grip on it. Torx bits, screws all the way through, 3 T6s I believe, and a T8. Don't quote me on that. We've got this semi-backspacer back here, you can see. Doesn't go all the way through, it covers like the middle third. Small lanyard hole. It doesn't fit 550 core very well, so this one's, the innards are taken out. I can't remember what the term is for that, but it's a small lanyard. I've got it set up for tip-up carry, which is actually higher riding than tip-down. As you can see, only this part would show if it was tip-down, and this you have this whole section sticking out, but that's fine. I don't really mind. It's a small knife, so I don't think anyone else will mind. It's a flipper action, and it does have thumb studs, but I think these are mostly used for the blade stop up here. I mean, you could still use them, just it's not as comfortable as the flipper. Has minor jumping down here, which is also on top of the flipper. You can see it right there. And you also have a little bit of jumping up here at the top, which gives you a lot of friction, which is why I was saying you don't really need a whole lot. I mean, you don't really need the G10. Still gives you enough grip to have a secure feel on that. Retention's really great. Mine locks up about halfway, but that was after I did some minor woodwork with it. Slipped a little bit, but that's fine. Breaking it in. Aside from this, it's a really great knife. It's, like I said, one of the innovators for the speed-safe mechanism that Kershaw is famous for. I really enjoy it. This is one of the best EDCs you could possibly find, in my opinion. I mean, just the Leek in general. You don't have to get the composite Leek. That's just more for harder use, just like the S30V Leek or any of the others. I mean, their standard steel, I believe right now, is 14C28N. Which is a Sandvik steel. It's a really great steel. Same thing as the Skyline and quite a few others, Kershaw knives. It's a phenomenal steel to work with. Very high level steel. Well, not a high level, but a very high performance mid-grade steel. Put it that way. Because it's definitely, I don't think it's up there with 154 CM or S30V or VG10 or any of those, but it performs pretty well. You got the logo down here, and if you want, you can engrave it right here. It's really easy. You know, take a Dremel tool or something and have at it. What else can we say about this knife? It's really great. I really do enjoy it. I don't enjoy the fact that I paid full retail for this, but that was because I was at a store and I really enjoyed the people there, and I just felt like I should add my little patronage to them, keep the store going, because you really don't find a lot of good knife stores around here anymore. You just find, you know, you'll see outdoor stores that have a little section, and the people behind the counter know more about guns than they do the knives, so that's something that kind of bugs me, because I'm not a big gun guy. So I do enjoy a nice Sword 4. Anywho, phenomenal knife. I highly recommend it. I honestly haven't had any problems with it. It's just a great knife. You know, with the flow-through design, you can clean it out really easy. Oh, the lock right here. Yeah, haven't talked about this. Same screws on the pivot, or excuse me, on the pocket clip as the body screws, and on the blade lock, which I find a little unnecessary. I kind of want to. You can tighten this down so it stays down here instead of having it slide up and down. I know from my rotation somehow this gets pushed back and forth, so every now and then I have to push it back down to open it back up. But that's just I think that's just on mine, so I'll just tighten that down. There are some people who customize these knives, not just like on YouTube and private businesses, but Santa Fe Stoneworks. You guys have seen my 4-inch liner lock, I believe. If you haven't, let me go grab that real quick. Alrighty, so here we have my 4-inch liner lock, even though it's a 3-inch blade. Santa Fe Stoneworks, you can see their logo right there. This is a 33-layer Damascus with a VG10 core, full flat grind, and a little drop point blade. Just a phenomenal gentleman's knife, really enjoyable. But they're really famous for doing these kind of inlays. This one's mother of pearl, onyx, and malachite, and they've got a lifetime warranty on it, which is awesome. But they do work with Kershaw and Spyderco and Bird, and they do inlays on those knives. If I recall correctly, they've got, I mean, those are just the ones that they have preset at the store. You could also bring in knives, and they'll do them for you. It's really awesome. I really highly recommend that store. Yeah, website SantaFeStoneworks.com. But as I say, they do knives. Leek is one of them. Leek, Shallot, Chive, Scallion, I think, are the ones they do from Kershaw. And Spyderco, they do the Cricket, the Police, Delica, Dragonfly, and I believe that's it. But again, you know, you can take any knife, send it to them, and say, here's what I want done. Boom, they'll have it done. I mean, it's a little pricey, but it's phenomenal work. You can take any hard-use knife and turn an amazing gentleman's knife. So I highly recommend them. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to take some G10 to this and make it a little harder to use for me. The one problem it's not really even a problem, it's just a little pet peeve of mine. This is the older school speed safe where it's got a cylindrical pivot. Normally they have a hexagonal one like you see on the ZT series or any of the other models with a speed safe. And I think that one just locks up a little bit better, and it's easier to undo the pivots, because I believe this one's press fit and the others aren't. So that's something just to look out for. Aside from that, you know, take away from it what you want. This is a great knife. It's a little small, but phenomenal EDC. It fills your hand pretty well. I've got medium to small hands, and you know, I can get quite a few grips on this, and it works. Oop, don't want to knock the camera over. It really works in quite a few different grips. You know, it's just a great knife. So, again, here is Kershaw Leek in composite blade, convex edge by JP Guitar Guy Futrell. Alrighty guys, thank you very much. Have a nice day.